Hello everybody and welcome back to our very first farm in Farming Simulator 22. In our last episode, I made the same mistake that I make quite a lot of time. I planted the wrong product in the fields here. We were supposed to plant wheat and I ended up planting grass. So we're gonna go ahead, hop back into our tractor here and start getting on our way for fixing the problem. Yeah. It is what it is. Like what can you do? Anyways, let's set up our width here and get ourselves lowered down and get started on fixing this. If you're just joining the series, the goal of this is to try to build ourselves up into a major dairy and egg producer. So we're trying to get up to the point where we can buy some cow barns and start getting some cows. And then eventually get to the point where hopefully we have a few dairy production lines going, and that'll kind of be the capstone for finishing out this particular series. I'm thinking that the next one is going to be doing a logging series over on oh man, I can't remember the name of the map. I don't remember the name of the map. I forget what the name of the map is. Anyways, I've had some fun playing around with the equipment over there, so I'm thinking that the next series will be running over to the forest map, whatever the name is. My brain is just not. It's a little earlier in the morning than I typically record because I have to work a little later, and my brain's just not working right. So I'm not able to recall. I'm not able to recall the name of the map, but anyways, I'm thinking that's going to be the next thing that we do. But for today, we need to go back through all of this, get our wheat planted, because I made a mistake in the last episode and planted the wrong crop, so that's going to take a little bit to fix. Shouldn't be too bad. It's just mostly I'm going to have to sit through this and redo this because I screwed it up in the last episode. So I'll finish getting all of this planted, and then after that we need to advance some time so that we can go over to where our grass fields are supposed to be. Probably do one last cutting to fill up our silage factory over there, and then we'll be able to sell off our silage for a really large amount of money and start making some decisions as to how we're going to move forward. Definitely we want to start getting to the point where we have some cow barns going, but obviously that's going to depend very heavily on how much money we make from our silage. But if we can get at least one going, that'll be a good way to get going. So I'm going to finish up this last little strip here, and then we'll head over to these fields over there, because all of that needs to be turned into wheat. Fortunately, I did realize my mistake before we advanced time past the planting season for wheat, so that's good. We're currently in October, and that's the last month that you're able to do that. We'll stop here really quick, and okay, good. We were able to finish off our fertilizer that we had over there. Obviously, finishing out these fields over here is going to take quite a bit of time, so unfortunately, I'm going to get stuck with that, but you guys are going to get to have a nice little cut because that's just the way that this is going to go. So let me go ahead and start getting this field done. I will put a cut in right now, and I'll be back once we're ready to move on to the next step. Alright, well, unfortunately, the amount of seed that we had didn't turn out to be enough to finish off the fields. We had that last little bit over there and this bit over here before we're able to finish up, but I need to head back over to the delivery point so I can get seeds delivered. We'll buy one more bag of seeds. That should be enough to get us through the rest of this. Oop, as I almost crashed into my stuff. Oh, get over here, over here. Seems like we have plenty of fertilizer to get this done, so that's not an issue. Let's go ahead, stop here. Come on. There we go. So it's not a benefit. I don't want to say the benefit of doing it this way is that we're going ahead and getting our second round of fertilizing in as we do this, though, so that's pretty... it's at least a little bit of a consolation. I don't want to say it's a benefit. It's definitely not. We're wasting a bunch of time having to go back and replant these fields over here, but at least we're getting something out of our time. So yeah, that is what that is. I'm gonna come back over here. We'll finish getting this field ready to go. And I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to move on to... I think we need to head over there and fertilize that other grass field, though. So that is something that I needed to remember to do before we move on with the year. But ideally, we'll go fertilize that field and then advance to the next month. Well, I don't know. I think it said we were on stage 2 of 3 for the growth for all of this stuff. And grass doesn't grow in December, January, or February. So there's a decent possibility that we may have already cut our last grass field for this year. Only way to know is once we advance time and see where we are. Okay, after some trial and tribulation, we have gotten through and finished off the fields over there. We just need to get these last little bits on this side of the field, and we will be able to continue our continue our progression through the year. You know, sometimes you make mistakes like this, and sometimes you make the mistake more than once, and it ends up costing you a bunch of time and effort. But you got to fix them. Whining about it isn't going to make it better, so you just got to do it. Not much you can say when you do it to yourself. Like it's one thing when you know, things happen that's not your fault, but then when you do things that you're doing it to yourself, you can't really complain too much about it. So we'll finish off this last little bit of a field here, and then we'll go grab our fertilizer and go over and fertilize our grass on the other side, just so we can make sure everything's nice and blue. All right, that's the last little bit of that. Get that turned off, get the seeder folded up and put away. And then we will be ready to do some fertilizing. So I'm thinking that my next purchase might end up being a bigger tractor. And like keeping this one, but just buying another tractor, because if I can get one of the really big tractors, then it will speed up some of the things that we're trying to get. Oh, come on. It'll speed up some of the things that we're trying to get done, because the extra horsepower will make it so that we can get higher speeds on some of this equipment that requires a little bit more in the way of horsepower. So like the seeder there, I have a mod that allows me to run at the speed limit of my tractor rather than the speed limit of the equipment. What's going on here? Okay, needed to lower it. You know, I always try to find these things that allow me to speed up the process and reduce the number of steps that it takes to get things done, because, you know, while it's realistic to do lime and rolling and all of that stuff, all it really does from a gameplay perspective is just make you go over the field an additional number of times, and that's not really fun for me. And I also like to find things that allow me to speed up the process. Like I want to do some things. I want to operate the equipment, but at the same time, I don't want to, you know, be bored out of my mind doing the same tasks over and over and over again. So let's see. Are we actually? Nope, this isn't actually doing anything. I think we might need to wait until that doesn't make any sense though. All right. Well, I'm just going to leave that field then, because I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure if. We planted and there's grass there, so that means that we got some growth out of it. I'm not sure why it won't let me fertilize it. I don't know. Anyways, let's go put our fertilizer spreader away, and we'll advance time until we're ready to... Well, I should have stayed over there. I had it in my head that I wanted to put the fertilizer spreader away, but I probably should have just left it there. Okay, so am I able to just put this in here without having any issues? Yeah, I'm not sure why it had a... Oops, wrong way. I'm not sure why it had a problem a minute ago, but it is what it is. Okay, so we'll get the tractor turned off, maybe. Okay, and let's see. Well, we need to check our feed. I was hoping we could just move on, but we do need to feed our chickens, and we should probably. No, I think we're good until December. We can sell our silage in December, and the eggs should be ready to go by then. So let's go ahead and back into our trailer here, get the feed unloading into that. And that way our chickens are good until we're ready to go sell our silage. Let's check and see how much we actually have. We have almost 1 million liters of silage ready to go, so we just need to get ourselves to the point... let me back up. We just need to get ourselves into like December and January, and we'll be able to sell off all of our silage and make a pretty decent amount of money. All right. There we go. So we'll get our tractor parked. I don't typically bother parking my tractor because it takes a little bit of extra time, but, you know, I kind of feel like doing it. Why not? Okay, so we're going to save our game so that way we don't have any more brain fart issues. And we'll move on until December. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get our eggs sold off, and then depending on the price, we're gonna go ahead and get our silage in sell mode. I do want to check out the grass fields. Well, we'll check out the grass fields, but I'm almost positive that they're not going to be in a condition to cut yet. Okay, get all these done. I always forget to set my filter to pick up all of them and not just the full containers. That is something you have to remember to do when you do this. But at least we got just enough where all of our eggs are pretty much full, so that's good. All right. Get ourselves over here. We'll drop this trailer off so it can sell for us. Okay, I think that's all of them. So those can sit there. Let's drive over and check our grass fields and see if those are ready for harvesting. Over here. So it does not look like they're going to be... Yeah, they're still in the forage stage. Technically, we could cut this, but we're going to get a much smaller yield out of that. So I think what we'll do... We already have a lot of silage in our factory over there, and I don't really want to waste the time and effort of getting a reduced yield out of the field there. So we'll probably just leave that for next year, because it's not going to grow until we get back into the grass growing months. And I honestly just kind of don't feel like cutting grass right now. So we'll just leave that for now. The wheat won't be ready until the middle of, or towards the late part of next year, so we can't do anything with that. So I think what we're gonna do, since, well, how are our chickens doing? Chickens are, yeah, they're still pretty good. They could sit for another couple months before we have to feed them again. So let's get the tractor put away and check the prices for the silage. Let's see here. Pricing for silage. Where is it? Right there. So 340-ish is going to be our best price, and we're pretty much there. So we're going to go ahead and switch our production over to selling. And we're going to advance time until we... There we go. All right. So we have now sold all of our silage. Let's make sure that we switch that back to storing so that next year when we do all of our cutting, that doesn't become a problem. And then, so what I'm thinking is that I kind of want to get a 9R tractor, or maybe a 9RX tractor, mostly because, I'm sorry, that's not the one I'm looking for. 9RT. So 628 for that one versus 670 for this one. So we would have to take out additional loan to get this large tractor, but what I'm thinking is that the oh wait, the 9RX is 428. I could get the 9R for a lot less. 670 for that one. Same thing, it's just got the tracks. I don't really need the tracks. As nice as it would be to have the tracks and they're cool and all that, I don't necessarily need the tracks. We could get this one for 465, take out a small loan to get this. And the reason I kind of want to get this is that, like we saw the planter, the max speed of my tractor is 26 miles an hour or something like that. And the mod that I have allows me to run my implements at the max speed, assuming I have the horsepower to get the implement up to that speed. The max horsepower for this guy is 670 versus, what's the 8? versus 458 for this guy. 16 tons for that versus 19 tons. So it's only a few more tons. It's quite a lot more horsepower. And the speed limit's pretty much the same as the tracked version of what I have right now. So I'm thinking that if we buy, and I also want to make sure, I also want to keep the original tractor because I want to be able to hire a worker to come behind me when we're doing our grass cutting and run the other implement. So I'm thinking we might go ahead and get this guy. 670 horsepower, should make it to where I can get max speed out of this, even on the hills. And yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I know that's gonna push back our cow production or whatever, but let's see, how much do we need? Well, I mean, I guess I should probably just pay this off now and then just take out a new loan. So we'll do 66639.3 66640, I guess. What the? Oh, okay. Okay, so we have 316. I guess we'll just take out. Well, I need to see how much the actual loan was. Let's see. We'll get the large tractors. I know that it might seem weird to do this, but I just with as much grass cutting as we do, and as much seeding as we're going to have to seed every year, I'd like to be able to speed that process up and not get bogged down on the hills that we have. So we need to be at. I don't need wheel weights. Standard front weight. I don't think we need the front weight either. I want the GPS. So we need 465,000. I think we're just gonna have to take out like a $200,000 loan. So let's go ahead and do that. Having an additional tractor will make our lives a little bit easier. So let's take out a loan, and I'm gonna do 200,000. You know, I don't know what the max number of years is. Let's do 20 years. That's probably fair. Yeah. So let's take that loan out. So now we have enough to buy the tractor that I want. And so we're going to do the 9R series. We're going to max out the horsepower. We're going to use the Michelin tires with the US design. I do want the attacher. Okay. And I do want the GPS. And that's what we're going to do, I think. And here we are. At a big 9R tractor, which is going to make life a little bit easier when we try to do some of these more horsepower intensive activities. Now obviously if I pull out the seeder next year and it doesn't do what we need it to do, then I might reevaluate our decision, but for now we're going to hold on to this. It's going to be nice to have a bigger tractor that we can get maybe a little bit more speed and efficiency out of our operations. This will be something that we use quite a lot to cut our grass. Or actually this won't, I don't know, will this be for the grass cutting part? I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, this may have enough horsepower to... Oh, but that's the other thing. The reason why I typically don't go with this tractor is because they don't have front attach points for this, so I wouldn't be able to put my mower on the front and my trailer and my baler and trailer set up in the back. I think this certainly has enough horsepower to muscle through all of that, but the fact that it's not able to put an item on the front is what is the limiting factor for me for using this tractor. So primarily this is going to be for towing my baler and trailer setup at the max speed possible so that this guy can do mowing, and I'll have an AI worker follow behind me with this guy probably. We'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure exactly what we're going to do, but that's kind of the vague idea I have in my head. Let's get back in our other tractor. I think we need to... Well, I don't know. I think we might go... I typically try to end on selling off of our silage, and we may go ahead and just end our episode here. Let's go ahead and get our chickens fed so that we can make sure that we're starting off next year right. So we'll empty that out. We'll go refill our wheat trailer. I'm not sure how much they're going to need, but that's all right. That's all right if I could stop getting stuck on buildings and all that. Let's go all the way around over here. We'll get our chickens fed, and I think that's going to go ahead and do it for today. So hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click that like button if you did so that the YouTube algorithm will know and send the video out to as many people as possible. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so now so that when the next video comes out, it will show up in your feed and you will be able to watch it as soon as it becomes available. Channel members do get early access to all of my content, so be sure to click that join button, check out the list of options available there, and decide if any of those are right for you. If you're not interested in a membership, you can always leave YouTube's form of a tip with that thanks button. Direct contribution, wow, serious oversteer. Direct contributions such as these are always greatly appreciated and a critical component to helping to turn this into a full-time gig, which is the dream. So again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you guys had I hope you guys are having lots of fun building this farm with me. Be sure to come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.